Y'all, we're starting a new series this month, and it is about who's your teacher? Who's your teacher? That's what this series is about. So we're going to look at many different aspects of how we learn. And I don't know that you realize that you do have teachers in your world. You do have selected ways you learn. You can even learn through a myopic source. If that's all you ever do, that's the only avenue you'll learn from. So realizing that, let's use this month to maybe open our eyes to see what we could experience in a slightly different way. So let's begin by just understanding the earth is our teacher. This is a school. The earth is a school. We come in, your body comes in pre-wired to do what it needs to do, right? I want to share one sentence in here. This is Deepak Chopra, who is a medical dude, Spiritual Laws of Success. I'm going to read it to you so you know I'm not making it up. We're studying this on Tuesday night. You ready? A single cell in the human body is doing about 6 trillion things per second. And it has to know what every other cell in the body is doing at the same time. A single cell. If a single cell of our human body is so programmed to do 6 trillion things, or even 5 things, at the same time, could we not also have been programmed as well? Could not our consciousness have been equally as specifically and perfectly programmed to be perfectly divine humans?
Yes.
We could have been, couldn't we? But no. We come in these perfect vehicles that are so programmed and so divine, a perfect brain that functions in a certain way, and we have a blank slate of perception. A blank slate. Not necessarily metaphysically totally blank, because we bring in stuff from past lives, but for the most part, the vehicle is about forgetting everything you know. What place can you be a master? Where can you be a master and go and forget you're a master and pretend you're not a master? That's the Earth School. Because we're all masters, we're all children of God. We learn through experiences. The Earth has actually created an evolution of that. We can watch it how we teach our children. Don't we teach our children through experience? Do this, now do this, now do this. We have our school set up. Okay, there's 2nd grade, and then there's 3rd grade. And so we lay upon them experiences so that they can evolve and follow the culture that we are living in, so it's sustainable and maintained, right? So we control their experiences, but we know they learn through experiences. When Jesus was talking with someone in his early years, he's still a young man, he said, "Enlightened Arabo, are you a mastermind and do not know that man knows nothing by being told? Man may believe what people say, but he never knows. If a man would know, he must himself become what is being taught." And when we have the experiences of any concept, any energy exchange, it becomes a part of us, right? So we know we're on the school. We're in a school. We're masters. We've forgotten we're in a school. And we're here to experience. We grow and learn through experiences. So the world will offer you any experience you want. All right? We go through these moments, we have these experiences, and typically we are programmed by society to come to conclusion. At the end of the experience, there is a conclusion. Was that yay or nay? Did I enjoy, did I not? Very rarely do we ask, what did I learn? We just say, and we come to a conclusion. The conclusion is this: I shall either repeat the experience or I shall try to avoid the experience. Simple. I'm either going to repeat it or avoid it. We don't really look at it any further to look at the details of it and try to take it apart. So, by this repeated energy, some of our experiences will become familiar. We'll be experiencing things over and over again, over and over again. I know that you've probably had this moment where you or someone like you has had an aha moment. I have said something fabulous from the pulpit. And you have said, hello, I get it. And your spouse or friend looks at you and says, I have been telling you that for 10 years. Those very words. We were not ready to receive. There's that old saying, when the student is ready, the master will appear, the teacher will appear. That's not true. When the student is ready, they'll see the teacher that's been there the entire time. When the student is ready, they will see the teacher that has been waiting for them the entire time. So we actually, through our beliefs and through our thoughts and through our focuses, sculpt our experiences. We actually do that. And what you judge and what you have an opinion about, you actually call to yourself. If you do not like certain things, you will call those experiences to you. Why? Because you're focusing energy on it. And if you want to really judge it, you need to learn about it. And you get to jump into it. You want a hostile boss? I don't like that hostile boss. Well, great, you might get one. You know? I don't like that, whatever. Great, we're calling it to us. Metaphysicians learn very quickly to say, not mine. I don't want that in my world. But you realize how we do it? Okay. We will repeat our experiences for security, or we will avoid, and that creates a wall. Neither one is about growth, is it? If I choose to avoid an experience, I've just created a wall, I haven't grown. If I choose to repeat because it keeps me safe, I haven't grown. So we need to become a little bit more aware of the experiences that we're having and what they're here to show us. And why do we call them forth? There are some cautions that I wanted to share with you about experiences. So, the number one caution is, well, let me just tell you this. I am seasoned enough that when I was young and in corporate, there was an old saying that I heard so many times. I would be talking to a boss, and normally I worked for older men. And because I was in corporate at the time, I was talking to a boss, and I'd say, we got a problem. This is a problem. And I would hear this saying, and the first time I heard it, I went, what are you talking about? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What do you mean? It's gonna break. I see it. I can tell you it's not sustainable. I can tell you where the problems are. Do you want to wait till it's broken? Well, let's just see if it'll right itself. It's not going to right itself. It's not going to right itself. But do you hear the consciousness? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Has anybody ever heard that, or has that gone out of our kind? Oh, you have? Okay. Good. Okay. So here's the caution. Don't wait for something to break before you call a new experience forward. The minute you see an experience that you're having is diminishing your light, challenging you in a way that makes you less than, it is not a sustainable path for you where you want to be. The minute you recognize that, alter the experience. Do not wait to the end. I'm going to stick it out to the end. Do you know how many married people say that? I'm sticking it to the end. They're holding on to, when will it end? So I can be free to move on to something new, instead of beginning to alter the experience now. You don't have to see everything in the experience to the bitter end. You can actually realize this experience was interesting, not sustainable. It's not sustainable in my world. I cannot live through this any longer. It's just not. It's not. So I need to do something to alter it, to either change my relationship to it. You don't have to build a wall and run, because what does that do? Nothing. Walls draw you back. But you can start doing something perhaps a little differently, seeing something differently, breathing something differently. And in the moment, let's just talk about the couples let's fix the couples now. So in that moment when someone's looking and saying this relationship, maybe the one in stress could actually look within themselves and say, what am I learning here? Maybe the one in stress could perhaps look at their partner and say, I know you're a child of God, even though I'm not feeling it right now. I know divinity is inside you. Those two little things, why am I here? And I see this as another child of God, can alter anything. And we don't know how it's going to end up. We don't know what the next chapter will be. But we have altered the diminishment. We've altered the trajectory it was on. And we have chosen to experience it differently. See? And when we do that, what do we do with our own energy? We elevate. So we're not repeating any longer. We elevate. Okay. All right. So do not wait for something to break. You are psychic people. You know when something's not working. Shift something in it. Okay. Number 2, do not call forth the familiar. I want to do that again and again and again and again. If you call forth the familiar, what are you saying to yourself? I want the security that I had. We did a whole month on that. I want to be able to control what I had. Hit me again with that. I'm going to win this time. How many times do we do those experiences where, I failed that. Come on, give it to me again, God, I'm going to win this time. Okay, I failed again. Okay, wait, give it to me again, I'm going to win this time. We do it all the time. Any of you overachievers out there? Yeah. Do you ever realize you're doing the same challenge just to see if you can finally beat it? Beat that game? But the reality is you're losing for a reason. You're not seeing something. There's something in you that you're attached to, blah, 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 blah. You are having repeated experiences and you're calling them forth so you can finally change, but you're calling them forth in the same way that you always have, so what is going to change? Nothing. You'll get stronger, the situation will get stronger. So we want to not call forth experiences that are familiar only, like holding on to safety. I need this to be safe for me. I know I can live through this one. We want to let that go. And then the third step is we want to remember to say, next, please. Next, please. Instead of more, please. Next, please. Next. Let me level up here. Okay, that was an interesting. Yep, I'm going to go up here. Okay, that was interesting. Yep, I'm going to try it this way. So that we're lifting and opening and asking for something that is bigger, better, brighter. And the reality is this, guys. You cannot call forth anything in your conscious mind that does not match your consciousness. So it has to fit where you are in consciousness at some level. You hear what I'm saying? And you know that. But it'll come at the level that you can experience. It'll be, are you in the third grade? You're not going to get a professor. You're going to get a third grade teacher. And you need a third grade teacher because you got to work toward the professor. You got to learn and grow. But it'll come to you at that level that you're able to receive. Do not get mad at it. Say, okay, I know you've got something for me that's going to lift me up to next. It's going to lift me up to next. You guys hearing me? So we want to not do familiar. We want to lift up to next. Call forth a growth goal. When you're having your experiences, are you asking to grow? When I was very young, 30-ish, in metaphysics, one of the big metaphysical teachers that I adored, she was up at Unity Village, she said, never, ever, 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 ever ask to learn to be unconditional loving, to love unconditionally, to experience unconditional love. And I thought, wow, that is just the oddest thing in the world. She goes, you'll regret it. And she was right from her perspective, because as you call forth a goal of growth toward that, what are you putting yourself on? You're putting yourself on a path of needing to draw to you every type of thing you don't love, so you can learn to be unconditionally loving. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's miserable.
We should balance our goals a little bit. But when we enter metaphysics, isn't that our first goal? And then this person doesn't like us, and this person doesn't like us, this person, and then it's this whole compilation of experiences, and we forgot we called it forth. So we need to be calling forth growth goals, and that's a good growth goal. Father, let me learn to be unconditionally loving as I move to this. Sharing my gift with the world, finding a new talent, ability, blah, 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 harmonizing, learning to be a good this, good that. Do you hear what I'm saying? So now I'm also expressing who I am. My growth goal is about my soul. My growth goal is about my soul. And if it's about my soul and it's with the intention of God, love, there always is unconditional love in it. Got it? Okay. So we need to be remembering of a growth goal that really serves us and that really lets us express. Okay. Who is your teacher? Who is your teacher? Choosing the path of experience, you're going to level up your growth, and if you choose experience as your only path of growth, that is fine. You're absolutely allowed to do that. You're the student, you're the intern, you become mid-level, you go into mastery, and you stay on that path of just that gentle growth. Jesus spoke in the Aquarian, I think it's 142, when he talked about there's a mountain and the carnal path goes around the mountain. And the path of the Christ goes straight up. And he says, if you're going straight up, don't step on those carnal path. But the carnal path goes around. It's like, okay, I did that. Now I'm going to do this. Then I do this again. Do you see this? It's this circular rise. You are learning and you're rising. But it's a circular pattern of repeating things slowly. And you might get it a little better. And then you stop and you rest for a while. It is a very pragmatic, if that's the right word, path of the human to take it one step at a time. And time and grade, you haven't been there long enough. You haven't been there long enough. Has anybody have a natural talent or ability and you're working for someone and they say, well, but you need to stay where you are for this much time? I interviewed for the government when I was like 18, 19. I interviewed for them and I said, okay, I'm fabulous. And he goes, yeah, you sound fabulous. He goes, but the problem is you may be fabulous, but you're going to have to stay at this level, this pay grade for this many of years. I don't care how fabulous you are. Then you're going to go to this level, this pay grade for this many years. I don't care how fabulous you are. And I went, you know what? Thank you for sharing that. And he goes, I know. It is not for you. And I thanked him and I went home because he saw in me, I'm just, no, I'm going to dance for you. And you are going to love me. He goes, yeah, we're not going to love you. We're not. So, but that's a great example of the circle of the world. Time and grade, moving forward slowly. It's okay to do that. We know people that do that all day long. But what is the other option that we have? Climb that mountain. Asking that the experiences that we have be divinely guided for our growth, the growth of our soul. Asking the experiences that we have be divinely guided so we can start growing our soul. And that means we're not always going to understand those experiences, doesn't it? It means that some of them are going to come out of left field and be crazy. To learn from our experiences, I'm going to give you just a few little tips. You already know what to do. Ask for next. Don't repeat. What was my little list here? Don't wait for the end. Don't call forth familiar. Okay. To learn from your experiences. The first thing that you want to do, keep the trajectory up the mountainside, is to stay awake to the fact that you are participating. Whatever's happening around you, if you are there, you're a part of it. And I'm sorry about relationships, but that's what's easiest to give you an example of. When you look at your partner in any relationship and say, you, and you forget, me is standing here. Me is living with you. Somehow me is involved. Somehow I am participating in this at some level for some reason. So what am I trying to teach myself? What am I learning here? Why am I experiencing this? Why am I experiencing this? Why am I experiencing this? So staying awake to the fact that I participated And there was an original goal. Don't forget that. There was an original goal. And if I may share, Patrick, I'm sorry, 30 years together, right? I do not know how long it took me, cannot tell you, to stop blaming him. I don't know how long it took, but I got there. But I would fight with him, and then finally I stopped doing that, throwing darts, and I went, okay, I'm not happy here. I need to do something. Let me pull my energy back. Let me figure out what I need to do. Let me calm myself down. Let me deal with me, and then it'll all work its way out. Whatever needs to happen will happen. Instead of the darts. I had a plan and you're ruining my plan. I was going to do this and now you're there. So, and I know you guys do this because you can deny it all you want, but you do. You do it all the time. And we don't do it just with spouses. We do it with friends and coworkers, anybody that we can blame when it's not working. So when we stay awake to our participation in it, when we stop reacting, and I'm sharing this with you to give you just that little seed of thought, don't react. Just when you want to react to any person, pull back. Okay, I'm here for a reason. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to breathe. What am I learning? Why am I creating this? What do I need to see? What do I need to see about myself? And then you can realize the experiences for your growth. And if you don't know what you're learning, what was my original goal? What was my original goal? Why am I here? In most relationships, to find love, to be loved, to be lovable. That's our goal. Go back to that. Look within. Getting it? Okay. The second thing to do from your experiences, and we talked about asking for next, I want you to consider seeking expansion. Actually asking for the soul goal. A soul goal that will expand my light, expand my awareness, expand my ability to shine. And that means I see myself as greater than I do today. I can see myself as greater. We want to begin to seek experiences that expand us and call us to something greater. Where we're not safe, we don't know what we're doing. It calls us to something greater. And the third thing that they've asked us to do, so we're going to stay awake to our participation, seek expansion, and then think adventures. If you start thinking experiences can be adventures, you know what you've just done? You've taken the boundaries off. Because in an adventure, you don't know where you're going. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to be awake to it. God's got me. I'm going to have food and shelter, and it's going to be fabulous because I'm on an adventure. But if we think about our life experiences as that, then the boundaries can melt. This is an adventure. It can be good. And I'm learning something. I've asked for a goal for my soul. I'm learning something through this adventure. Get it? Okay. Then the last thing that they've asked us to do is to daily ask, what am I learning? And we don't do that daily. But daily, when you're doing your meditation time in your morning and you ask, what did I learn in this meditation? We're schooled to do that. What am I learning in life? What did I learn? What is this teaching me? And if you ask daily, you will get in the habit of asking. And if you ask that question, you are in contact with your spirit. And when you're in contact with your spirit, you're in that Christ zone and you're going up the mountain. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because we're daily seeking the higher that we cannot find in our brain. I don't know what I'm learning. What am I learning? I'm seeking my higher, and I'm going to that Christ frequency, and I'm going up the mountain. This is a world of experiences. There was that famous book, After Enlightenment, What Do You Do? Do you all remember the name of it? Chop wood and carry water. After you get those aha moments, after you have enlightenment, what do? You do your work. You do your work. You show up again. You show up again. We have those Christed awareness, those epiphanies, those fabulous moments. Take them into chopping wood and carrying water. Take them into that client. Take them into that next step that you're doing. I'm showing up. My soul's on track. God's got this. I'm going to the grocery store. Stay in the mindset I still want to participate awake, and I want to know what's happening in my world. I want the highs of the epiphanies, I want those great meditations, but I still have to stay awake to the good that the universe has for me. Remember that experiences come at your level of consciousness. I honestly want to walk on water. I'm not asking for that right now. But wouldn't that be fabulous? It'd be amazing. And if I ever walk on water, guess who will be there? No one. No one. It'll just be me and Jesus walking on water. People won't see your grand accomplishments. No one's going to see. But your soul will shine. Your light will be turned on, and you will affect everyone. Every time we do something that thrills us, it affects the whole. Every time we are happy, it affects the whole. Every time we feel we're in God's will, it affects the whole. Those are major accomplishments. It's like we're walking on our own little puddle, our own little pond. We've risen above. The experiences that we have can all be transformed into beautiful learning moments that evolve us into greater. We don't want to stop having experiences. We just want to choose, am I around the mountain? Am I going around the mountain right now? That's fine. I'm going around the mountain. Am I climbing up the mountain? It's fine. Either way is fine. But we don't know till we know, and we don't know till we experience. Welcome to planet Earth. Let's go within. Father, Mother God, we love you so. And we acknowledge that beautiful light that is surrounding all of us. We acknowledge that love of Jesus Christ. And we know his footprints are on this earth, the path to follow. So I would invite all of you just to breathe and feel the beautiful light coming over you. Feel God's love filling you. And I want you to imagine that God's love wraps you now, cocoons you and infuses into your consciousness, your body, the pure radiance of love for you. Begin to feel that you are perfect exactly as you are. There is nothing that you need to do. You're perfect. But begin to also feel there is infinite, abundant energy supporting you for any choice that you might make. The universe supports every step and every desire. And allow your heart to open and just allow desires to be felt. You may not know what they are. Just say, I do desire, God. I desire to grow my soul, to grow in the Christ light. Just feel a beautiful peace moving through this column of light. And we ask for clarity to move into the brow and the eyes so we can see clearly our own thoughts and choices. We ask for patience to move into the heart and the solar so we can truly be patient with our choices and our manifestations in this world. And we let your love, God, move through all that we are. And we choose to be sustained in that love. Feel the energy flowing from you. Feel that beautiful vibration of light. And we thank you, God. Feel yourself coming back to the chair. Send your gratitude to Jesus Christ for showing us how to walk and for loving us as we walk. And take a breath. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And I want you to say, I got this.
I got this.
Good. This life is perfect for you.
This life is perfect for me.
Perfect for you. Satisfies every desire you have. Now say, yay, God.